are you feeling today? It's been a crazy day.
It's been crazy. It's been so many emotions. I mean, mostly I'm just so excited to become Todd's wife and to be his wife. Um, and then there's just like all of these emotions of this enormous change in our lives. And so it feels monumentous.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. So, can you take me back to when you first met him? Like, what
hmm
was the situation? Did he approach you? Did you approach him?
Well, I was at the Little Woody, like an after late night bar, um, with my friend Kim Gunn, and her boyfriend had just flown in town, and so we were excited to see him. He was flying in from Boston. His name's Kevin, and we were playing shuffleboard at the Little Woody, except for I didn't have a partner on my side or like an opposing person on my side, so I was just playing for both teams. And I saw him kind of out of the corner of my eye approach me. He didn't say anything yet, and I just was like, "Hi, I'm Val." I mean, I think I had had a couple drinks in me by then, but it's not too unexpected for me to be so, you know, welcoming and excited. So I think it took him by surprise, and then it was just a conversation of, wow, we went to the same high school, and we didn't really know a lot of people in common at first, but as you know, the years have gone on, we realized we know a lot of people in common, and there were a million different ways we could have met. But it was just serendipitous that it was that night, and it was the right time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, he mentioned that. But were you on vac? No, you weren't on vac. You were at that bar. He was talking about your proposal.
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
Well, he had wanted to go on a trip with me for so long, but I was really knee deep in my dissertation, and I was having a hard time finding a breaking point to take some time away from it. And after the holidays seemed like the perfect time because I would have a week or two after Christmas and New Year's, and so he took me to Puerto Rico, but I really like, I had thought that possibly he might have proposed during the holidays, but when he didn't, I thought, I'm reading this situation all wrong. And my mind was so occupied with my dissertation that I didn't think too far into it. I thought, oh, well, let's go have fun, and I was ready to go to Puerto Rico for the first time with the love of my life.
That's funny. So, were you like completely surprised since it didn't happen during the holidays? Did it just like catch you off
Yeah,
guard?
it did. That day, the thing that, and he knows, like we were adventuring around. I was wearing my loudest outfit that I packed, and the worst foot gear, and he kept insisting that we kept walking more, and we finally got to this fountain that he wanted to see around sunset, and and I thought, I just want to sit, I want to sip on a mojito, I just want to relax. And he just he was like, oh, let's go over here, and my feet were killing me, and I was just like, come on, love. But he kept walking down this pathway, and so long story short, he's taking a million pictures and video and asks another person standing by to take another picture of us, and I'm thinking, okay, he's really a little crazy about the sunsets. But then I looked at him in that moment, um, after he had said something to the stranger, like about the photos in Spanish, and I saw his face, and he knows I can just read him, like he was so nervous, and I knew in that moment what was happening, but up until then I had no idea. And I just thought we were on a wild goose chase around San Juan. Like, that was that.
That's so funny. Yeah, he was telling me that he was trying to get to the west side so we could get all the sunset stuff. And
Yeah.
it wasn't too crowded.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So, so tell me a little about Todd. I only met him today. I don't know very much about him. What's he like? What about him attracts you to him?
Well, initially, Todd just has this really engaging eye contact. He really looks at you, at whomever he's engaging with. And I noticed that right away. He just like, he was almost like looking into my soul. And on our first date, we talked for about 4 hours. He kept wanting to take me to one more place, and finally I was like, I'm exhausted. But we had so much to talk about. Like, it was just endless things that we had in common, like passions in our life and dreams, and just different things that we enjoyed doing, and it was like seamless from the first moment. So I mean, beyond his amazing, like, his presence and the fact that we have so much in common, he makes me my best self, and he puts my nerves at ease on a day like this when I feel like I could explode with nerves. I just like laid in my bed last night and thought of him, and it was the most calming feeling.
That's awesome. Well, I was gonna ask how he makes you feel, but you kind of answered that.
Yeah.
So,
Happy.
Yeah. Let me. What else I can ask you? So, is there anything like a defining moment where you realize, like, oh my goodness, I think this is the guy I want to marry?
Yeah. I told him this recently, actually, because he had told me when it was for him, and I mean, there were a trail of different situations in my heart when I knew, like, I had written him. I started writing a journal to him because I had anticipated this day. But the most clear moment was when we were on our road trip to move him to Chicago initially out there, and it was bloody cold outside. We stopped midway in Kansas where his family is at, his grandparents, his late grandpa and his grandmother, Lamb. And we went to visit them. I went to meet them for the first time. And he had, everything he said about his grandmother was spot on. She's just such a wonderful lady. We're really sad she can't be here today, but his grandfather, he had this like one-on-one time with him he never got before. And as we're leaving them, he just broke down in the car and was crying because he knew it was the last time he was going to see his grandpa. And his heart, I was like, I know that this is the man I'm going to marry. His heart is exactly what I'm looking for. And in that moment, as he just cried and we stopped in the car and just gathered ourselves before we headed on the rest of our trip to Chicago, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be an adventure.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So I'm only going to ask you like 2 more questions,
Okay.
and I'll let you get back. What are your like hopes for down the road for your future together?
Initially, I just really want to soak in time with him, and it'll be our first time living together, so we just have so many firsts. My first job after finishing my doctorate, and I'm just excited about that right now. Like, just all that time we'll have together, and feeling like an adult. And then beyond that, I'm just so excited to have a family with Todd. He's going to make an amazing father, and I'm so excited for our children.
That's awesome. So last question. I know it's after the ceremony and you guys have been hanging out all day now, but if there's like one thing you want him to know about just today, how you're feeling or anything, what would you tell him?
Let's see, one thing. Jeez.
Be how you're feeling or what you're looking forward to, or just...
It's just that it's right. I know he's the right one for me, and I know that this is just the beginning of a beautiful life together. I know it. I'm not worried about it. I'm so grateful for all the people who are here to celebrate with us, and it's so exciting to think of all the possibilities that lie ahead.
Well, if you have anything else you want to add, we're finished.
I'm good.
Awesome.
I feel good. I'm really happy and excited, and yeah, I mean, things went as smooth as you can expect for something like this. It was just a great, beautiful ceremony.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of preparation and time, and obviously, but it's been so worth it so far. I can't wait to continue the party, and I'm about to sing with my dad on stage right now, so I'm a little nervous about that. But yeah, I feel good.
That's awesome. I think it'll be fine. I think you got the hard part out of the way already, so
Yeah.
you don't have to be nervous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So can you take me back to when like you first met Valerie?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you? What happened?
Yeah, well, my roommate was about to leave for a trip around the world. He's going to be gone a year. And we had a going away party for him at a bar. And after hanging out with him and all of these people for a couple hours, I just started wandering around and I saw her playing shuffleboard. And she didn't have a partner. And she was smiling, she was laughing. And I took a deep breath and I decided I was going to go say hello. And before, I had no idea what I was going to say, and before I had a chance, she said hello to me. She just reached out her arm and said, "Hi, I'm Val," and we just got to talking, and immediately found out we just knew all the same people, you know. We both went to the same high school but didn't know each other. She was a couple years behind me.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so crazy how things work out.
Yeah, and it's been smooth sailing.
That's awesome.
3 years ago.
That's really cool. So did you start off at friends first, or did you just ask her out?
Yeah, I asked her out immediately, and then we had a date the next weekend, a week later. So we just met up to have dinner, and then we were having such a fun time. I said, "Hey, like, do you want to go have a glass of wine at this wine bar?" And then after that, she's like, "Hey, do you want to go grab a beer at the brewery?" And so we just kept going. It was like a 7 p.m. thing that ended at 2 in the morning.
Nice.
It was just a blast.
That's really cool. Did you want to grab anything in between the questions or
no,
something?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We can fit.
Okay. So as your relationship progressed and you started to see changes within yourself, what were those? What about her made you realize, like, oh my goodness, I think she's the one?
Oh wow. Well, I realized that she was pretty special early on. A doctorate student, someone with a great faith and a great family, and someone that was just really sharp, really book smart, street smart, perceptive, empathetic, and just a total catch right away. So for me, I felt like I needed to step up my game. I needed to bring my level up to her standard. So I started just kind of pulling it together more often, and I think my family started to notice became more reliable. I became the reliable one rather than the kind of flaky one. So, and I kind of always felt like I was going that direction. I needed her. I needed someone like her to, inspire me, I suppose.
That's awesome.
That's what she did.
That's really cool. She sounds like she's an awesome person to be able to bring that out in somebody else. So like, how does she make you feel?
How does she make me feel? She makes me feel good about myself, for sure. I was a shy kid growing up, and there's always like that sense of, like, I don't know, doubt or whatever that it lingers, and I try to crush it and keep it hidden, but sometimes it comes out when it shouldn't, and she just makes me feel like I'm I don't know, like I'm just good enough for her, and like I'm a good man, I'm smart, and I'm funny, and she laughs at my jokes, and I don't know, she's amazing, she's wonderful, best woman I've ever met, and I'm really thrilled and happy, and I love her. She just makes me so happy.
That's awesome. So Can you tell me a quick story like about the proposal? Was she completely surprised, or did she kind of have a hint?
Yeah, she was surprised because I knew I would do it in Puerto Rico. We we went there for 5 nights, and it was right after New Year's, and we just had an awesome time. Obviously, it's Puerto Rico, but I had the ring in my pocket the whole time, and I was just kind of trying to find a appropriate time, and then a friend of mine convinced me that like however I do it, I need to get a picture of it happening, and that was the smartest thing. So, but it's also really hard logistically. So I when we were exploring Old Town San Juan, which is a really beautiful 500-year-old like town, I knew that we had to get to the west side of it to see the sunset because I wanted to do it there. And I would just ask someone to take a picture, and then I'd jump into it. And when we finally got there, it was like so crowded, and it was kind of too public. There were like kids like skateboarding, and like there were people smoking, and it just wasn't the right vibe until I took her down a side path, and then it got really quiet, and it was right by the sea, and right by these huge city walls are really high, and I found a young couple, and I got the picture. He even took a video.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so she was blown away. She was totally shocked because we had been bickering a little that day too, so she felt pretty bad.
That's a good way to change the day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Well, I'll just ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll be done. So let's see. What's if you can think of anything like specific about Valerie that you just absolutely love about her?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
Yeah, I mean her smile and her eyes. You know, I just love looking at her while she's smiling. And gosh, I mean, that's what I think about when I just close my eyes and think of her, is that big bright smile. But obviously she's beautiful, but she's just so caring. She's the most caring person I've ever met. She's so thoughtful, and she has an army of family and friends that would do anything for her, and really anything for her, that fly across the country at a drop of it for her. So it's impressive, you know, how many people, how beloved she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel kind of honored that I'm the one she chose.
That's really cool. She sounds awesome.
Absolutely.
So I'll just ask like 2 more questions. What do you guys hope? What do you guys? Do you need anything? Just like 2 more questions. We'll be done. What do you hope for your future together?
Oh, we love. We both just love adventure. We love excitement. We love new experiences. So I just want to continue doing those with her. I want to travel. I want to go a ton of places, and obviously we want a family as well. And I'm just excited to see her as a mom. I've already seen her in that role. I mean, she has nieces and nephews. She's been a babysitter before, and she's just a natural. So we're gonna have. I mean, I have doubts. I don't know if I'm gonna be. I mean, I know I'll be a good dad because I'll try really hard, but I'm not a natural, and she's a natural. So I'll have someone to help me out. I really can't wait. Look forward to it.
That's awesome. So last question. I know you've seen each other. It's after the ceremony and everything, but if you haven't, what is one thing you would like her to know? Like how you're feeling or anything, just today?
Just that I just always knew it would be her, and I'm so grateful that she stuck around, that she's still along for the ride, and that you know, it's the perfect match for me, and somehow, some way, I'm lucky to be the perfect match for her. And it seems a little unbelievable, but I just wanted her to know that I'm never gonna let her down. I'm always gonna work my ass off to make her happy.
Awesome. Well, if there isn't anything else you want to add, we're done.
Okay, I think we're good.
Awesome.
Sure. I'm Ryan Lamb, and I am Todd's brother.
Perfect.
So just to start out, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Excited for Todd, and I didn't really think to be nervous about anything myself until just now, but but yeah, it feels good. Kind of nervous excitement.
Good. So tell us about the first time you started hearing about Valerie.
Well, let's see. So I had moved to Chicago a little while back, and Todd was visiting me pretty regularly, every 6 months or so at least. And one time he told me, he's like, "You're not going to believe this, but I'm dating a girl who lives like a mile from you in Chicago." And I'm like, "How is that even possible when you're in Arizona?" She's out here, she's from here, and she's been out here for a few months working or whatever. And so yeah, I could immediately tell he was really into her. But the whole thing about her living in Chicago and him being out here just kind of was a little iffy at first.
So tell me about the first time that you met her.
I'm not even sure I remember, frankly. Yeah, I don't remember specifically when it was. It was probably like at a bar or something. But sure, her immediate impression is just very likable, just a sweet, kind person. You can tell she's brilliant and just impossible not to like.
Perfect. Let's see. How did you see your brother change as their relationship progressed?
I don't know if he changed all that much, but I could tell that he was, he was super happy and like very fulfilled in the relationship, and could tell that it was, more meaningful than anything he'd been in the past.
So kind of building off of that, how was this relationship different from others in the past? Like, what did you see her bring to this that maybe he wasn't getting before?
I think she's just more of an equal partner and kind of somebody who was going to challenge him in kind of a good way and not in whatever way. And yeah, just punching above his weight class a little bit.
What do you admire about their relationship?
Well, I sort of admire their PDAs a little bit. How kind of lovey they are with each other all the time. I've been with my wife like 14 years now, so we don't have as much of that anymore. But so that's kind of cute. But again, I think it's just that they kind of act as real equals, and that you can tell that they really love and respect each other.
Let's see. Why do you think that they're so good for each other? If you have anything else to add.
I'm not sure I have anything more,
Perfect. That's okay.
yeah.
Let's see. Did you know that the proposal was coming?
I did, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, so I knew, I knew he was planning to propose for probably several months in advance, and I knew he was going to do it in Puerto Rico. But that's kind of all I knew, and I don't think he knew much more specifically than that. It kind of just kind of had to wait for his moment, and it was a pretty amazing proposal. I don't know if you've seen it, but he like had some random guy like pretend he was going to take a picture. He told the person to put it on video, and then he went and like acted like they were going to do a picture, and then he got down on one knee. And so the whole thing, there's pictures and video of it, which is most people don't have.
Yeah,
So it's great.
That's awesome. Just a few more questions. What are you looking forward to most today?
My speech being over. No, just seeing Todd and Val have a great time, and for me personally, is visiting with family that I don't get to see all that often, and especially now that I've moved to Chicago, family that is not in Phoenix, I don't get to see very often because they're usually not here when I'm here. So, but just having a good time with Todd and Val and everybody.
Perfect. What do you hope for their future together?
Well, I hope for lots of happiness and I know they're going to have kids probably fairly quickly. So I'm looking forward to that, to their kids growing up with my son, and yeah, lots of traveling, which they both love, and I think they're going to be great.
And one last question:
Sure.
what advice do you have for the couple?
I should have known you were going to ask me that one. I should have had something prepared. God, I don't. I guess just be open and honest with each other, and not be defensive. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that gets people in trouble. Don't take everything as like an attack. Take it constructively and have a conversation.
JP Mullen, best friend of Todd Lamb and other best man.
Perfect. All right. So just to start out, how are you feeling today?
Good, excited. I know he's been eagerly anticipating everything, so I'm excited for Todd.
Tell us about the first time you started hearing about Valerie.
First time I started hearing about Valerie was, I know he met her and on a date, and he just couldn't stop talking about her. He was wild about her, and you could tell there's something different in how he explained who Val was and how excited he was to meet her.
Perfect. And kind of building off of that, how did you see this relationship like different than other relationships that he's been in the past?
For this relationship, he was really excited to be with her all the time. I mean, he moved to Chicago to be with her, and I knew when he mentioned that so early in the relationship that she was most likely going to be the one, and very excited for him to move, and glad he moved back too.
Tell us if you can remember the first time that you actually met Valerie in person and kind of how that went.
First time I met Val was, I think, before they left for Chicago, and she was just amazing. You could tell she's so well educated, and they were, very affectionate towards each other, and that they truly had love for each other.
You can go ahead. Sorry. It's okay. You're fine. Thank you. We're taking up your time. You're
Good, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So what was you kind of covered it, but did you have like a really good first impression of her? Like when she walked in, what did you kind of think?
I think my first impression of Val was great. It was super strong, not only because of Val, but how close I saw Todd with Val, and how they had that instant chemistry. So I was really excited about that.
Perfect. How did you see him change as their relationship?
Shh. Now you guys go by. It's just in between questions.
Sorry. Hello, welcome.
Nice shirt, Jing. Keep it classy. Oh, was that one? Are you waiting for them to?
Yeah, we can hear a lot. Perfect. Okay, so how did you see him change as their relationship progressed? Like, what qualities did she bring out in him?
She brought out a lot of good qualities in Todd. He was a little bit all over the place, and instantly saw a little bit more of the more mature side of Todd come out. He's much more responsible and had to be a little bit more cleaner, which is really important for Todd. Yeah, you just kind of saw him grow up more as a man.
Perfect. Let's see. Is there anything that you admire about their relationship?
Their devotion to each other, I think, has always been great since the beginning. Again, from him moving to Chicago and her coming back to be with him and family has been really great. Also, their kind of belief system and kind of taking care of everything with that as well. That's been great.
And why do you think that they're so good for each other?
They're good for each other because they're both short and very compact, and I think works well. So anyone too tall for Todd would be a challenge.
I like it. Did you know that the proposal was coming?
I didn't know the proposal was coming. Okay. He actually asked me for help with the poem and about if he had any ideas about kind of how to do it. I mean, most of it was all his, but he just, ran it by me and just said, hey, what do you think about this? And we put together a great poem, and it's something that they still have to this day.
Let's see. What are you looking forward to most today?
I'm looking forward to two great people kind of celebrating together. This is their day. I'm really excited for them, and I just hopefully everything goes as well as they ever, desired.
Just a few more questions. What do you hope for their future together?
They have kids. I hope that they have kids. I think my wife and I are on baby number 3, and hopefully, I know they've expressed some interest. So moving together in a house, creating a family, I think it's going to be really exciting for them and a great next step in their life.
Perfect. And one last question, what advice do you have for them?
My advice is to, always love each other, always communicate, never go to bed angry, and just enjoy each other.
Perfect. Well, just for editing
Yeah,
reasons.
I'm Rick Lamb, and I am the groom's father.
Perfect. So just to start out, how are you feeling today?
What an incredible day. I mean, we're in Arizona in the spring, and we've got our son marrying the most beautiful young lady I've ever seen, inside and out. So it's a great day.
Tell us about the first time you started hearing about Valerie.
Well, the first time I heard about Valerie was we were sitting at the Sandbar restaurant, I believe. Okay,
Sorry, let's start over.
sure.
Wait, she might come back. Okay, we're just gonna go for it.
Just on that last piece? Or do you want it from the top?
From the top would be great.
Okay.
So, tell me about the first time you met or heard about Valerie.
Well, the first time we heard about Valerie was Diane and I were having lunch with Todd at the Sandbar restaurant in North Phoenix, and he said he had met someone. That's okay. Go ahead. We're going to start. That's all right. We're going to start over anyway. That's okay. The first time we heard about Valerie, Diane and I were having lunch with Todd at the Sandbar restaurant in North Phoenix, middle of the afternoon. It was kind of a Saturday afternoon, I think it was. And we always asked Todd, how's your love life? What's going on and stuff. And he said, well, I met somebody, and I don't know. I mean, this girl's pretty special. And he showed us her picture on his phone. And so then we didn't hear too much more about it after. And then finally we met her one day. And the occasion of that was Todd was coaching like a t-ball baseball team of real little kids, except it wasn't even t-ball. There was a little pitching machine that they would use. And he was so good with these kids, and Valerie came to watch him, and we were there watching him. And so she sat with us, and we watched Todd work with these kids, and I had never seen him work with kids before. And I mean, it grabbed me. And I could see that it meant something important to her too. And then we had dinner with her, and then it just kind of went from there. The thing about Valerie is she's the kind of person that when you first meet her, you feel like you've known her forever.
Okay. How have you seen your son change as their relationship progressed?
I have never seen Todd more happy than he's been in the last, I guess, close to 3 years now that he's been with Valerie. And there's never been any kind of ups and downs. It's just been steadily getting better and better and better. He's just happier. He's got more of a vision, as to what he's going to do with his life and where he wants to be. And he's kind of starting to see what the future might look like. And that's pretty exciting. Because Todd was not somebody who dated lots of different people, He was waiting for a special person. And it paid off.
Perfect. Let's see. Is there anything that you admire about their relationship?
Yes. There are a lot of things I admire about the relationship. For one thing, they're very kind to each other. And I really like that. I mean, it's like they're not kidding each other all the time. They're sweet to one another. She calls him love sometimes. First time she said that, it really got me. I really like that. And they're laughing all the time. They just enjoy each other's company. And that's pretty special.
Perfect. Let's see. What are you looking forward to most today?
Today, well, I have kind of a little different role here today because I'm going to play some music here in a little bit with my partner Jay, and that's for about an hour. And then we're just going to mingle, and we're going to see people and enjoy the evening. It's an incredible setting here. Never been here before. I know once the sun goes down, it's going to be a lot cooler than it is right now. But the whole thing is just special to us.
Perfect. What do you hope for their future together?
That's a tough question because every relationship is different. You can't project what worked for you on somebody else, but I do hope that they'll always talk to each other. That's an important thing, is that you talk and you listen and you communicate. every day. And what I've seen with him already is a pretty good indication, I think, that it's going to go that route. And they, like I said, they enjoy each other's company, and they have a lot in common. They're enthusiastic about the same things, and they laugh a lot. So I think those are all good signs.
One last question. What advice do you have for the couple?
Well, I kind of make a point of not giving advice to my kids unless they ask for it. If they were to ask for it, I'd be happy to do that. I don't like the idea of parents meddling in their kids' lives, even if they think it's for their kids' own good. I mean, they're adults now, and hopefully we shared our values, and it was pretty clear to them what our values were as they were growing up, and then they had a chance to kind of develop their own, and I hope they live by those values, and they make principled decisions in their lives, but I'm not going to tell them what those decisions should be unless they ask.
My name is Spuzz McAllister Mobley, and I am Todd's mom.
Perfect. So just to start out, how are you feeling today?
Great ceremony. Feel great. Been looking forward to it. Couldn't be happier for the two of them.
Perfect. Can you recall the first time that you heard about Valerie?
Oh boy, 3 years ago. Todd had said he had met a great girl and that he was going to bring her over for Sunday dinner sometime. So that was like 3 years ago.
Perfect.
So it was great.
Just tell us a little bit about that first dinner, that first initial meeting with Valerie.
All I remember is positive in every way. You know, we hit it off right away. I think we met at my house the first time. I don't think it was at a restaurant, but now we're going back. But no, everything was great.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
How did you see?
Or did I meet her in Chicago? Now, see?
That's okay.
Now I can't remember. Val, are you watching this? Did I meet you in Chicago? No, it had to be Phoenix. She came up to the house. Oh well, she'll straighten me out.
You're good.
Again.
How did you see your son change as their relationship progressed? What qualities did Val bring out in him?
He's just a little bit more responsible. I would say would be the number one change that I saw in him. In preparation for things, you know. So that obviously helped. And he had no single life anymore. You know, it wasn't. He always hung out with the guys, but you know, now Val was in his life, and he moved to Chicago to be with her for 1.5 years. So we knew it was serious.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you admire about their relationship?
Just the love they have for each other. Everything you see when they look at each other, and how they compromise and do so many changes with this house right now. She's going to be moving in, and everything seems to be flowing just beautifully for them. So, really good.
Perfect. Why do you think they're so good for each other?
I think they were both brought up to respect family. You know, I think they're just perfect for each other. I can't really pinpoint one reason or another, but you know, they have patience with each other, and love is patient and kind, and they have all the good qualities for a good marriage. So.
What advice do you have for them, if any?
Never go to bed angry. Always kiss each other good night. The same old cliches. You know, always remember that Valerie's right, and work through everything, because there are going to be some bumpy roads ahead, and you just have to get through them. It's not worth going to bed angry over something. So.
One last question. What do you hope for their future together?
I hope for healthy, beautiful children. I hope for good jobs, beautiful home, lots of fun vacations, family time, and just a good, healthy future together. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay.
My name's Elena Breeze, and I'm Valerie's oldest sister.
And my name is Marissa Flores. I'm Valerie's little sister.
Perfect. So just to start out, how are you feeling today?
Really happy, excited,
Happy
anxious.
that the day is here, and anxious to give our speeches, but we're happy.
And then party.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. When was the first time you guys started hearing about Todd?
Oh, sorry, I have a hair in my eye. Well, Valerie was on a sabbatical from her doctoral studies, and she was staying with my husband and I when they met. So I kind of, got to know about Todd right at the beginning, and then he just became a part of the family, and it's been great getting to know him.
I got to know I was at the time living in Chicago. Valerie and I had been roommates, so I was really missing her. And, I remember her telling me on the phone that she had met Todd and that they were, she was starting to date, and just all of the little things that they had in common I knew was really special. And eventually